Okay, I think we will just start now. So, Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. I'm Aina Shattar and I will be your host for tonight. In tonight's first episode of our MCO edition, we will be discussing the types of vaccines available, the pros of being vaccinated, and the importance of herd immunity. So, moving right along, it is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Shazwin binti Abdul Said. Dr. Shazwin is originally from Penang and graduated in 2015 from UniKL Royal College of Medicine, Perak. She has over 5 years of medical experience serving in Penang and at Putrajaya. Dr. Shazwin is also currently on duty as a secretariat at PPV Dewan Seri Seroja Putrajaya. Without further ado, Dr. Shazwin, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. So I'm Dr. Shazwin and we'll be discussing a little bit on vaccine 101 lah. Okay, basically COVID vaccine. So any question you guys can ask after the session, okay? Alright, so can you please show the slide, Aina?
Milan?
So all of you dah dapat talian vaksin ke belum lagi? While waiting for the slides?
Not yet.
Belum.
Belum lagi Okay, kena sabar sikit. Alright, thank you. So, okay, kita discuss a bit about vaccine, but this is very simple lah, just an overview of everything, okay? So, boleh show dia punya second slide? Okay, so our chapters ada 6 hari ni. Basically, first I will be touching on the history of vaccine, and then our new enemy, that is COVID-19, the heroes, obviously the vaccines, and how they are made. Okay, kita cerita sikit je lah, not technical punya benda lah, sikit je. And then I just want to touch a little bit on the terminology, vaccine terminology, because this is basically why people are choosy in choosing what vaccine they want kan. Okay, and then the last chapter is how all of you can be heroes too. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so the history of vaccines. Okay, so basically why we need vaccine? When one single person in this world are sick, we can cure them with medications, and that is possible lah. Tapi bila the whole world is sick, we cannot cure everyone. So this is when the vaccine matters lah. Next. Kena please slide tu. Back. Okay, next. Kena ni, please slide ni. Milan, you need to play the slides. Tekan slideshow presentation. No. Press the slideshow presentation. Ni semua pop up ni. Press the slideshow presentation. Okay, so without the slides, it's okay. So basically,
Should we share the slide?
there, okay.
Okay, okay, nice.
Okay, next. Okay, so this is what I want to show lah. Vaccine, we already have vaccine since 1921 lah. Our scientists at that time already created vaccine. So vaccine ni bukan benda yang sangat-sangat baru lah that we should be scared of. Okay, since 1921, our scientists at that time created TB vaccine. And most of the vaccines that we have now, penyakit-penyakit tu masih lagi ada sekarang lah. Contohnya diphtheria, the measles, kids dapat these vaccines. Okay, and in 2019, the scientists created vaccine Ebola. So this is basically an overview of all the vaccines created over the time. Okay, next. Okay, so this is kiranya kita kata vaksin punya best yang boleh eradicate this disease lah, that is smallpox. Okay, next. Okay, so in 1796, Edward Jenner, an English doctor, he managed to invent this vaccine for smallpox, and in 1980, there is no more smallpox disease. Next. So kita boleh tengoklah the difference smallpox at that time versus vaccinated child. Alright. So the last case of smallpox is in 1980 lah, and the death toll pun banyak juga for smallpox. Okay, next. So our new enemy, COVID-19. Okay. So this is an emerging virus lah, first identified in December 2019. Masa tu semua orang kelang kabut lah kan dengar pasal vaksin COVID now. Macam apa tu COVID? Everybody was wondering kenapa makan bats kan, people cakap kan. So WHO declared a public health emergency of international concern in 30th January 2020 lah, and later declared as pandemic on 11th of March. So kita boleh tengok dia punya contagiousness tu in 30 days first started in China, and then sekarang to the whole world lah, in 30 days, only in 30 days. Okay, next. And this novel coronavirus, dia ada dia punya own natural reservoir lah. Okay, ada disease yang macam ni, contohnya dulu kita ada SARS-CoV in 2002, but dia hilang secara sendirinya lah in 2004, and ongoing kita sentiasa adalah setiap tahun haji kita akan ada MERS-CoV punya virus ni, basically dibawa oleh orang-orang yang pergi ke haji lah, but this is not that contagious lah, tapi dia punya mortality rate quite high. And now ongoing pandemic is our SARS-CoV-2, that is COVID-19. Okay, next. So our heroes, apa heroes yang kita ada sekarang ni? Next. Okay, so I cerita sikit what is the timeline lah daripada awal kita start declare yang ada new virus sampailah ke sekarang. So on 7th of January, China baru declare lah dia punya new virus detected in Wuhan, that is COVID virus. And then on 25th, we had our first 3 cases daripada China. Masa tu memang kelang kabut dah lah. So bila kita ada cases daripada China, we set up our bilik gerakan terus dekat PKD Putrajaya. I was not there yet at that time. And on 30th of January, WHO declared newly discovered type coronavirus as a world emergency. So banyak benda jadi, MCO and so on. August 2020, dah ada two-way communication with COVAX lah to ensure equal access of vaccine to all developing countries lah. Okay, sebab at that time kita dah mula ada vaksin, but then the developed country dapat dululah the vaccine. So WHO tubuhkan COVAX so that everyone can get a taste of the vaccine. So in September 2020, Malaysia established JK jaminan akses kepada vaksin lah. Okay. So this JK JAF ni yang in charge lah kita kata of the vaccine supplies in Malaysia. So in February 2021, kita train our core team untuk carry out the preparation for vaccine arrival. So basically first kita dapat Pfizer lah at that time. So Pfizer ni dia punya nak simpan tu it's quite tricky lah. Dia memang perlukan temperature yang sangat spesifik untuk penyimpanan dia. And also kita nak kena jaga temperature dia even outside the freezer itself kan. So actually kita punya program imunisasi kebangsaan PIK ni started phase 1 pada 1 Mac, tapi we actually vaccinated our Prime Minister dulu dengan DG on 26th of February. Yang tu kita buat dekat PKD Putrajaya lah. So that was our first vaccination program. So 1st March we start our PIK program fasa 1 and insyaAllah in August we will have evaluation of this program. Next. So yang dah arrive dekat sini adalah Pfizer, Sinovac, AstraZeneca and CanSino lah, the latest one. CanSino is a 1 dose punya vaksin. Pfizer, Sinovac dan AstraZeneca ada 2 dos lah. Okay, next. Okay, so macam saya mention tadi, this COVAX ni under WHO, dia deal dengan our JKJAF ni dan JKJAF untuk mendapatkan supply vaksin. The vaccine supplies are very limited, so setiap negara akan dapat allocation dia sendirilah. And then after that, they will go through NPRA and then pass kepada kita KKM. Okay, next. Okay, so this slide here, this is our first procurement of vaccine lah, our initial purchase. Kita actually purchase for 82.8% of our population lah, iaitu 26.5 million. But then ni adalah purchase terbaru kita from Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, CanSino and seperti ni. That is 66.7 juta lah, meliputi 109.65 juta penduduk. Okay, so tapi kita belum dapat lah semua ni. Okay, next. Okay, so kalau kita boleh tengok dekat sini yang kita dapat setakat sekarang adalah dalam 10% lah. Okay, this is the latest June 11 lah. Okay, so kita dapat kita punya Sinovac dah dapat about 35%, our Pfizer about 8.13% macam tu and our AstraZeneca is about 12%. Okay, so banyak lagi lah waiting banyak lagi vaksin yang akan tiba. InsyaAllah in Julai kita akan dapat lebih banyak lagi. Alright, next. Okay, so this is a poster yang belum di-update lagi lah. Sebenarnya YBKJ ada umumkan yang kita ada fasa 4 kan sekarang. So program imunisasi COVID kebangsaan kita ni yang dulu punya. Fasa 1 is basically barisan hadapan kaki tangan kesihatan dan bukan kesihatan lah. PDRM, rela, bomba, penyelamat, ATM semua. So at this time, it was quite easy untuk bagi vaksin dekat semua orang because everyone know they need to get the vaccine in order to stay alive at that time kan. Okay, so sebab semuanya berhadapan dengan cases selalu kan. So this one is quite easy. It ended up in April macam tu dah habis lah. We vaccinate everyone. And then fasa 2 now ongoing. We vaccinate warga emas yang umur 60 ke atas. Golongan rentan, orang-orang yang ada komorbid, contohnya orang yang ada penyakit obesiti, jantung, diabetes, tekanan darah tinggi. Maksudnya orang-orang yang kita fokus waktu ni adalah orang yang kalau dia kena COVID, dia ada risiko untuk masuk ke ICU dan kematian lah. Kita fokus kepada golongan ni dulu buat masa sekarang. Dan kita bermula daripada April dan ongoing sampai Ogos lah. Okay, so even OKU pun dah ramai dah yang kita vaccinate. Alhamdulillah dekat Putrajaya yang saya in charge sekarang ni, the vaccination program quite smooth lah sebab mungkin they are more educated on the importance of vaccine. So memang kehadiran, we get about 99% kehadiran lah most of the days. So Alhamdulillah memang mudah juga untuk kita deal. But the questions are there, the worries semua banyak lah. So once they get the explanation, people understand, then orang akan terima lah untuk mendapatkan vaksin tu. Okay, so fasa 3 adalah golongan dewasa yang berumur 18 tahun ke atas lah. So I think majority of you are in fasa 3, that's why you didn't get your appointment yet. Okay, so fasa 3 ni we will start some places dah mula, contohnya Putrajaya we already start vaccinating young people. Fasa 3 dah mulalah dekat kita May until February 2022. But I think we will finish earlier lah insyaAllah within this year. Okay, and fasa 4 yang YBKJ baru umumkan adalah untuk pelajar sekolah lah, sebab WHO dah benarkan for us to vaccinate children that is more than 12 years old kan. So kita aim untuk vaccinate budak-budak SPM dan STPM dulu. Okay, next. Okay, so how these heroes are made? Macam mana vaksin-vaksin ni dibuat kan? Next. Okay, so kita ada many types of vaccine. We have live attenuated, inactivated, subunit, toxoid and RNA based. So RNA based ni is the paling latest sekali lah. Next. So macam kita tahu AstraZeneca ni adalah viral vector, mRNA ni adalah Pfizer dan Moderna, dan Sinovac adalah inactivated virus. So semua vaksin-vaksin ni walaupun berlainan teknologi, different teknologi, different lain cara-cara dan pembuatan dia, the way it fight the infection is just the same. Macam tu penting. Everyone need to understand that the function of all these vaccines are just the same. Okay, next. Okay, so macam badan kita, I just explain a little bit on how our body fight virus. Okay, so when the virus entered our body, okay, badan kita akan ada our own natural defense mechanism lah, iaitu immune system. So this immune system yang akan fight all these intruders. Okay, so bila kita punya soldier ni tak pernah jumpa lagi dengan virus ni, dia akan kena bekerja keras sikit sebab dia nak tahu strategi macam mana nak melumpuhkan virus ni. Okay, they don't have anything, any info on this virus. So tak tahu macam mana nak fight lagi. So it will take some time for them to understand macam mana kita nak lawan virus ni. So that will cause our body to take its toll lah. So kita akan sakit, akan demam, akan ada orang yang jadi lebih teruk dan sampai menyebabkan kematian. So bila dia dah boleh lawan dengan virus ni, dah lama dah masa dia ambil untuk lawan tu. But the next time kita kena virus yang sama, kita akan, our body ni dah ada memori dah tentang virus tu. So dia akan hasilkan antibody lebih cepat dan dia akan lawan dengan virus tu better and faster lah, lagi cepat. So this is what vaccine punya usage lah. Bila kita bagi vaksin dekat badan kita, we vaccinate ourselves, we teach our body to know this virus. So dia dah boleh create dah dia punya defense strategy, dia dah boleh create antibody untuk badan kita. In case one day we were infected with this virus, our body already can fight the virus because we already know what virus is this and how to fight it. Tu adalah tugas vaksin. Tak kisahlah di Pfizer ke, Sinovac ke, AstraZeneca ke, Sputnik ke, ConSino ke, semua sama. Itu adalah apa yang semua vaksin buat. Next. Next. Okay, ni sedikit terminologi lah tentang vaksin ni. Next. Okay, yang orang selalu pertikaikan kenapa orang nak Pfizer, tak nak Sinovac, kenapa orang nak AstraZeneca ke, tak nak yang lain, Johnson tak nak, adalah sebab orang banyak fokus kepada efficacy ni. So basically efficacy adalah sebenarnya how the vaccine perform during clinical trial. So clinical trial ni kita ambil orang yang healthy, dia ada strict monitoring, dia ada exclusion criteria, orang mengandung tak boleh, orang ada sakit ni tak boleh, sakit tu tak boleh. So it doesn't show the actual effectiveness of the vaccine. Okay, contohnya masa China make Sinovac, at that time memang peak infection dekat China. So of course the efficacy kurang sebab ramai orang yang infected waktu tu. While masa UK buat Pfizer, UK buat AstraZeneca, waktu tu infection rate sangat kurang sana. Dia tengah macam tak banyak lah case. Jadi efficacy dia naik lah tinggi macam tu But the effectiveness kita boleh tengok. Yang ni yang akan tunjuk the real, how well the vaccine perform in the real world. So sebab kita gunakan di different country, different race, different age, so kita boleh nampak lah the beza vaksin tu, impact dia kepada our real world punya infection at that time. Okay, next. Okay, so kalau kita tengok sini, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca and Johnson Johnson, kita boleh tengoklah yang kat sini dia ada mention dekat kita, the efficacy of Pfizer is 95%, Moderna 95%, AstraZeneca 70%, Johnson Johnson 66%. But the most important thing that we want to highlight here is the hospitalization and death prevention. Semuanya 100%. We need to make people understand this. So bila kita tiba-tiba dapat Sinovac ke, dapat AstraZeneca ke, we shouldn't we should take it lah. We shouldn't be choosy macam tu. Because this is our aim for vaccine. Bukannya kita tak nak kena COVID langsung, that is impossible. Vaccine doesn't make you immune towards COVID. But it helps in reducing the hospitalization and death prevention. Okay, so next. Okay, so kita boleh tengok dekat diagram ni, memang protection from severe disease, semuanya majority memang tinggi dia. Apa-apa vaksin pun. Sinovac is 83%, AstraZeneca is 100%, and protection from hospitalization, majority adalah 100%. Okay. So kita kena get rid of that idea that there are vaksin yang A+, ada vaksin yang B+, ada vaksin yang C+, because that is not the case. And semua vaksin, all of it are good and we should go for anything yang kita dapat. Alright, so next. Okay, so kita boleh tengok dekat sini lah. When we get vaccination, what is the possibilities? So basically not vaccinated, this is very clear. Not vaccinated, death ataupun hospitalization ataupun severe symptom, especially for people who have comorbids and old age, okay, especially for them. And but now even that Delta punya variant kan, the latest variant, even young people yang without comorbids also fall in this category juga sekarang. Okay, so people who are vaccinated, kita akan ada moderate symptoms, mild symptoms, or no infection at all. Alright, next. Okay, so how all of you 53 people can be heroes too, and everyone watching outside there. Okay, next. Okay, so diagram ni kita nak cerita macam mana how we want to create the herd immunity. Okay, so this is Adam. Adam choose to be vaccinated. Okay, so he is vaccinated now. He has antibody towards COVID virus, okay. So and this person here, the blue color is not vaccinated. So dia ada COVID virus lah, and he can only infect people who is not immune. So when more people are vaccinated, less people are infected, and when the vaccination rate increase, kita akan create an invisible protection lah. So waktu tu kita akan ada herd immunity, but herd immunity can only be achieved is more than 80% vaccination, 80% of the population is vaccinated. So jauh lagi lah perjalanan kita sebenarnya, but hopefully we'll reach there within this year lah. Next year dah nak pergi jalan-jalan kan semua orang. Okay, so next. Okay, so how can you be heroes? Adam ni, when he is vaccinated, okay, and the people surrounding him is vaccinated, the family members, friends, orang-orang yang tak boleh divaksin, contohnya those who are less than 12 years old, they are also protected. That is the important thing that we need to tell everyone. We need to be selfless lah in this case. Sebabnya we want to protect orang-orang yang tak boleh divaksin. If we are scared of getting fever after vaccination, scared tangan kita sakit after vaccination, kesian lah dekat budak-budak yang tak boleh divaksinkan ni. Because they are hoping on us. We are their savior lah waktu ni kiranya. Okay. So vaksin ni macam saya kata tadi, it doesn't protect only people who get them, sebab dia boleh slow the spread of the virus, and over time dia akan drive down the infection and protect the society. So smallpox ada greatest impact lah yang saya tunjukkan tadi, sebab dia terus eradicate the virus in 1970s. Memang terus dah tak ada. But no matter how high the efficacy of a vaccine, if less people take it, impact dia memang akan small tu tak ada lah macam tu. Okay, so next. Okay, so here we can see the percentage of people vaccinated affect the whole herd immunity chain. So when only 20% vaccinated, senang lah COVID spread macam sekarang lah kan, less than 20%. So the spread is very easy, mutation is very high. When 50% of the population is vaccinated, sedikit susah. Dia akan slow down the infection, but then people who are vulnerable akan still kena COVID lah. Okay, so when 75% is vaccinated, kita boleh tengok less hospitalization at that time, and R0 kita pun akan turun lah, much lower, and the symptoms pun will be very mild at that time. So when 80% to 100 population vaccinated, at that time insyaAllah we can put aside our mask, boleh travelling balik, boleh budak-budak boleh pergi sekolah macam biasa, kita boleh pergi kerja dah tak BDR dah dekat rumah lah. Okay, so this is where we want to be, hopefully end of this year. Okay, next. Okay, so why do we have Pfizer, Sinovac, AZ, banyak-banyak ni kan? Why don't we just purchase from one vaccine only kan? Okay, so actually all the vaccine are here for the same reason lah. Walaupun macam saya kata tadi, it was developed from different technology, different expertise, but the function is just the same. What it does to our body is just the same. So with more mutation type, more variants, sekarang kita tengok variant dia, kita boleh kata sebulan lain kan. Actually some studies shows that the more diverse the type of vaccine taken, we might create a stronger and better cross immunity lah. This is one of the reason why kita purchase more than one type of vaccine. Okay, next. Okay, so can we choose our vaccine? Siapa pernah pergi ke PPV dan kata saya tak nak ni, saya nak banyak lah dekat PPV sentiasa macam tu. But we need to explain lah to them, sebabnya kita ada limited source of, sometimes kita ada limited Pfizer, sometimes kita ada limited Sinovac lah. So kita kena explain dekat orang. When they want to choose their vaccine, we need to explain. Kita pilih macam mana. So what we doctors do there, we will look at 3 main points. The demographic and accessibility. Is it easy for them to come to the PPV? So this is where we have our mobile punya team, and macam YBKG ada bagi tahu, yang Cansino we bagi dekat orang-orang yang di pedalaman yang susah untuk datang ke PPV. And then most of the time we doctors will ask about the risk factor and comorbidities lah, because we want to know kalau orang pregnant ke, orang menyusu ke, orang yang ada penyakit-penyakit jantung ke, orang yang makan anti-clotting bloods ke, orang yang ada masalah macam-macam lah penyakit kan, we will ask them and decide what vaccine is good for them. Kalau dulu sebelum ni banyak kita kena postpone orang-orang yang mengandung dan menyusu, sebab waktu tu Sinovac tak boleh, but now Alhamdulillah the latest guideline, all 3 vaccines yang kita ada dah boleh untuk orang yang menyusu dan orang yang mengandung. So kiranya semua vaksin dah boleh cucuk untuk semua orang lah sekarang. Okay, next. Okay, so how you guys can help is, first kali share the right information lah. Dekat media sosial ni terlalu banyak information. Latest soalan yang saya akan dapat dekat PPV, doktor saya baru makan durian semalam. Saya dah kena mengena durian ya encik. Rupa-rupanya ada viral, makan durian esok mati bila vaksin. So banyak, there are a lot of this, minum kopi tak boleh, things like that. So we need to share the right information and educate other people lah. Mati punya cengkih-cengkih semua pun we need to tell them that that is not true. You can try that but you need to take vaccine as well. Dia nak cuba ubat-ubat apa pun boleh, but then take vaccine as well, macam tu. Okay, share the right information, still follow your SOP to reduce the infection and also get vaccinated. So bila seorang get vaccinated in the family and we see they are well, sihat je, tak ada masalah apa, demam sikit-sikit je, then people will be encouraged to take the vaccine. Okay, next. Okay, so basically no one is safe until everyone is safe. Okay, next, saya rasa that's all. Okay, Aina.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shazwin, for an enlightening presentation. So if the audience has any questions for our speaker, please click the raise hand button or unmute your microphone. You could also leave a question in our chat box. Okay, so we have one here. So, Dr. Shazwin, what is your advice? Like, some people are worried because they're not getting their vaccination appointments yet. So, what can they do while waiting for their appointment?
Okay, so what I can advise is, one, be patient. Okay, you will get your appointment soon, inshallah, because we already start our phase 3. So inshallah you'll get your appointment, but for now what you can do is stick to the SOP first. Okay, if you are very concerned, you can also email to CITF and Immunisasi MOH lah. But then that is only if you need it urgently lah. Okay, otherwise I'll advise to always refresh your MySejahtera, because we got many cases that people miss their appointment. Semalam tak buka MySejahtera, tiba-tiba hari ni adalah doktor, itulah. Tapi kita selalu bagilah because they already get their appointment but they miss it. Lagi-lagi orang yang tua sikit kan, makcik-makcik, apa semua pakcik-pakcik. So you need to always see your MySejahtera. Sometimes you will get the appointment even that morning on that day itself. We had cases like that. So we normally accept them to come and take their vaccine lah, macam tu. Okay? So don't miss it. Make sure you check it always.
Okay, also, Doctor, just now you mentioned that, you know, how all vaccines work the same way. So what is your advice on people being choosy? You know, like on Facebook, there's some people who's like, oh, I don't want to take Sinovac sebab nanti I tak boleh haji.
Tu memang. We have a lot of this, and this is a problem actually that we need to encounter. It takes a lot of time to convince them to take the vaccine. But what I can tell you, now actually WHO already approved Sinovac and Arab Saudi already approved Sinovac. So dah tak adalah cerita yang Arab Saudi tak terima. But before this, what I always advise them is our main concern now is not to go to haji. It is to take care of our nyawa lah, kita kata. Take care of our health. Make sure if we get COVID, we won't die yet. Macam tu. Because most of them who get their appointments to go haji, they are old people, right? They are more, they have the higher risk to get COVID and higher risk to be hospitalized. So I try to make them understand that you cannot choose. You need to take the vaccine first, make sure you are safe enough and you live long enough to go to haji. But then people, normally they understand and they will take the vaccine.
Okay, so Doctor, this question, rasanya Doctor dah jawab tadi. Do we have to avoid any food or drinks within the first 48 hours, for example, alcohol, coffee or durian?
No. You can hidup macam biasa je. You can drink your coffee in the morning, Starbucks, Coffee Bean, anything, and come and take the vaccine and continue macam biasa. You can go to work, no worries.
Okay, Doctor, so this question is, adakah pesakit thyroid boleh mengambil vaksin?
Pesakit thyroid tak ada masalah, boleh ambil vaksin. Tetapi if you are worried, you can always ask the doctor who is consulting you lah. I mean, ask the doctors who you always go to appointment to. Contohnya kalau appointment dekat klinik kesihatan, can ask them either you are fit to take the vaccine or not. But no worries. Thyroid boleh ambil vaksin.
So did doctor answer your question, Shahira? If anybody else has any questions, you can just raise your hand and our technical team will unmute you. Okay, Izzat Akram has a question. Milan, could you please unmute Izzat, please?
Okay, Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Okay, saya Izzat Akram. Jadi saya ada macam penghujung slide tadi mengatakan ada state apa ni, kalau makan durian ni ataupun minum kopi ke atau minum Starbucks ni mungkin tidak ada fungsi untuk macam apa, tidak macam tak ada kesan lah untuk vaksin, tetapi kita nak tahu jugalah apakah stereotip ataupun macam mitos yang mengatakan kalau kita pakai vaksin ni kita tak boleh minum benda ni, kita tak boleh pakai benda ni, dan juga kita tak boleh nak buat benda ni sebelum kita vaksin. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua sekali, kita tahu yang pada nilai fasa ketiga dan juga fasa 4, kita boleh katakan 500 kes lah, antaranya lah 500 kes untuk menurun dan juga 60% populasi kadar vaksinasi itu diambil. Tapi mungkin daripada pendapat doktor sendiri, apakah kebarangkalian rakyat Malaysia ni sembuh daripada COVID-19 itu sendiri? Sebab bila kita nak pergi ke fasa 3, fasa 4 ni, mereka seronok nak pergi ke kampung, mereka seronok nak berjumpa dengan kawan-kawan. Tetapi mereka lupa bahawa COVID-19 itu masih ada lagi. Jadi mungkin pendapat doktor, ada tak pendapat yang menjadikan kita nak cakap COVID-19 itu masih ada lagi, tetapi pada pandangan doktor itu macam menurun sedikit lah, macam tu. Itu saja soalan saya.
Okay, so soalan yang pertama, basically apa yang kita kena elak sebelum kita ambil vaksin kan, sebelum dan selepas kita ambil vaksin. Mitos-mitos ada, mitos macam bagi tahu tadi lah, minum kopi, makan durian, tapi scientifically tak ada apa-apa yang kita perlu avoid. Okay, tak ada apa-apa, cuma after vaccination you might be ada orang yang akan ada sedikit side effect. Orang-orang tu kita nasihatkan untuk berehat lah. Berehat the whole day ke the next day ke, normally you will feel the side effect the next day. So rehat, tapi makanan ke minuman ke kerja ke apa ke semua seperti biasa, tak ada masalah. If you are the type yang memang tak rasa apa-apa, tak ada masalah, memang boleh continue saja. But if you are the type yang memang the next day tu terus demam ke apa, memang you need to get some rest lah. Okay, the next question is pasal kita orang yang dah excited rasa macam COVID ni dah berkurangan dekat Malaysia kan, dah rasa macam seronok. Tapi sebenarnya kalau kita tengok keadaan sekarang, cases masih banyak lah, masih banyak daripada dulu lah kita boleh kata kan. 5,000 ni dulu kita dah tak tahulah macam mana kelang kabut dulu, 300 pun kita dah takut kan. Sekarang 5,000 kan, masih banyak. SOP masih perlu diamalkan. Even saya yang dah divaksin pun masih perlu pakai PPE, masih perlu pakai mask, semua. Walaupun orang-orang sekeliling saya pun dah divaksinkan. Kawan-kawan kerja, semua doktor-doktor kan, orang yang kerja di PPV semua divaksinkan, tapi kita masih perlu mengamalkan SOP yang ketat because we still can get vaccine. We still can get COVID, sorry. Contohnya ada seorang kawan saya yang memang dah divaksinkan bulan 3 dulu, kena COVID pada bulan 5 sebelum raya. Boleh kena. Tetapi apa yang bagusnya bila dia dah ambil vaksin, badan dia dah ada immunity tu, kita boleh tengok dia punya city value, iaitu value kita kata infectivity rate dia lah, kita boleh tengok itu sangat tinggi. Maksudnya keluarga dia semua tak kena COVID walaupun dia kena. Ahli keluarga, anak yang selalu dengan dia tak kena. Rakan-rakan kerja semua tak ada kena COVID. So maksudnya dia tak menjangkitkan orang lah. So kita boleh sedikit tenang dalam hal tu, tetapi majoriti rakyat kita masih belum divaksin. Jadi we don't have that herd immunity yet. Okay, tak sampai berapa persen je kita vaccinate sekarang kan. We don't have that herd immunity. It's not even 25%. The virus is still everywhere dan kita tak tahu siapa yang ada virus tu. So still SOP macam biasa, boleh excited tapi SOP kena jaga. Cara untuk kita tak kena virus ni adalah dengan SOP saja, tak ada cara lain. Do I answer your question tak? Menjawab tak?
Okay, Dr. Shazwin, we have a question from our Facebook. So Assalamualaikum and hi Doctor. Is it true when someone ada positive COVID-19, they cannot take vaccine immediately and they need to wait 3 months to rest before they can actually take their vaccine?
Okay, it is true. Okay, SOP yang terbaru daripada KKM memang menyatakan bahawa kalau kita dah kena COVID, kita tak boleh ambil vaksin lagi lah. Okay, 3 months after baru boleh ambil vaksin. There are cases yang kita lenient dalam hal ni, tapi yang tu semua kita akan discuss dengan our specialist lah. Okay, but for second dose, if you get COVID after your first dose, once dah habis quarantine, dah tak ada symptoms, boleh ambil your second dose. So you don't need to delay for another 3 months. You can straight away take it after you finish your quarantine.
what is your opinion on, like some people they're taking painkillers before, like an hour before their appointment, because it went viral on Facebook. If you take painkillers, you would have less side effects. So what is your opinion on that, doctor?
Actually, we don't. We shouldn't promote that to people because it is actually quite dangerous for us to take painkillers. We actually don't advise people to take PCM pun even before the vaccination. But after that, kalau you rasa sengal-sengal badan, sakit-sakit, demam-demam, you can take it, no problem. But not before the vaccination. It actually got no point lah kita ambil PCM tu macam tu.
Is there any other questions in the audience?
Doktor.
Okay, from Aizuddin. Assalamualaikum doktor, boleh saya tahu jika ada golongan yang tidak sesuai untuk divaksin?
Okey, ada golongan yang tidak sesuai untuk divaksin, iaitu pertama sekali orang-orang yang ada history of severe anaphylactic shock towards the vaccine itself. Orang-orang ni memang kita tak akan bagi vaksin lah. If your first dose, especially after your first dose, you had a severe anaphylactic shock, iaitu masa tu kita jadi ketat dada, susah nafas, lepas tu kita sampai hypertension, maksudnya tekanan darah menjuna rendah dan kena ke hospital. Dan doktor waktu tu bagi tahu kita punya diagnosis adalah severe anaphylactic shock towards the vaccine, memang tak boleh ambil second dose. And there are people who memang ada history of severe anaphylactic shock lah, maksudnya dia memang ada severe allergic to other things, other medication. Kita ambil sedikit precaution lah, kita biasanya akan rujuk ke hospital untuk divaksinkan di sana sekiranya vaksini itu bersetuju. Tak ada paksaan untuk divaksinkan, jadi kalau dia bersetuju baru kita bagilah. Other than that, pesakit-pesakit yang doktor yang merawat pesakit tu menasihatkan untuk delay the vaccine, delay the ambil vaksin tu, let's say pesakit kanser yang on chemotherapy pun sama, kita tak bagilah. So basically we always advise our patient who have severe diseases yang memang ada comorbid yang tak terkawal to take note and ask their doctor first. The doctor yang merawat tu ask their doctor either they are fit to get vaccinated or not. Otherwise kalau dia datang dekat kita without their doctors punya input on this, kita akan decide dekat sana lah, there and then lah.
Okay, doctor, there's one more question in the chat box. Boleh doktor?
Boleh.
Okay. So, salam doktor. Ada tip atau kaedah untuk berhadapan dengan orang-orang yang anti-vax, especially di social media? Daripada Cik Zakia. Okay.
Social media ni saya I normally won't engage because you can't change anyone's perception, but what can you do is just to share the right information lah. Orang yang memang anti-vax, ni bukan orang yang takut dengan vaksin. Ada dua different group sini. Yang anti-vax ni memang tak akan ambil sebarang vaksin, even untuk anak ke, untuk siapa-siapa lah, dia memang tak akan ambil dia, and they are against everything, and normally they are selling something lah. Okay, tapi ada juga golongan yang takut. So this golongan yang takut ni, we can always engage with them and explain to them. There are no point being rude ke, marah ke, apa ke when they disagree, because they have their rights to believe in what they want to believe, but we can always explain lah. Anti-vax, I give up, I won't explain, but normally people yang takut ni memang kita akan bagi tahu, akan duduk, akan cakap. Even in PPV itself, normally they already click, saya bersetuju dengan vaksin kan. But when they reach there, suddenly tiba-tiba ada baca sesuatu ke dekat media sosial kan, they got scared, they don't want to take it. So we normally sit down and talk to them, explain to them. And biasanya after their first dose, they are okay, so they are no more reluctant to take their second dose. Dekat media sosial ni, I don't think it will give a lot of impact if we engage and talk to them. It's always easier to do it face to face lah, to talk with people. I don't know, but I don't engage in social media. That's all.
Okay, so I guess that's all the questions that we have for tonight. So before we end the session, let's take a group photo. If everyone could turn on their camera and smile for our technical team, please. It's only going to take a few minutes.